Hello, I'm Rob. The Academy Awards are coming up and I decided to watch some past winners of the Oscars. And I recently watched A Man for All Seasons. It was released in 1966 and it won 6 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. A Man for All Seasons follows the last few years of Thomas More, a respected lawyer in England who becomes Chancellor by Henry VIII. Henry fails to get permission from the Pope for a divorce from Catherine in order to marry Anne Boleyn because Henry's wife is barren and he wants a son so that England can have an heir. Henry declares himself to be the head of the church in England and demands his subjects swear an oath to make him both spiritual and temporal leader. More, a devout Catholic, refuses to take the oath and he is eventually tried in court for treason, which leads to his eventual sentencing. The movie was adapted by Robert Bolt from his very successful play that ran in London and in New York in the early 1960s, and Paul Scofield, who played the part in both of those productions, heads the film, and it features a cast of respected stage and film actors of that time, including Orson Welles as Cardinal Wolsey, who tried and failed to convince Moore to reconsider his opinion. There's also Susanna York, Leo McKern, a young John Hurt, Wendy Hiller, and Robert Shaw as Henry.
Thank God I have a friend for my Chancellor. Readier to be friend, I trust, than he was to be Chancellor.
My own knowledge of my poor abilities.
I will judge your abilities. Thomas? Do you know that Wolsey named you for Chancellor?
Wolsey?
Aye, before he died, Wolsey named you. Wolsey was no fool.
He was a statesman of incomparable ability, Your Grace.
Then why did he fail me?
Now, I know many of you watching this video may think, oh, this is a historical drama, it's going to be boring, or this deals with religious conscience, or this movie is old, why should I bother watching this, But when I finished the film, I think it was just as relevant now, and the performances and the technical work were all terrific. Now, often when movies are adapted from stage plays, they can be a little bit stagey, but I think director Fred Zinnemann did a good job at opening it up and making the story cinematic. The photography is colorful, and I really love the visuals that Zinnemann fills Seasons with, including nature shots, and the choice of locations made me feel like I was there at these events. I really like listening to Bolt's dialogue because it's not bland, and you have to sort of decipher what each character means. It's very descriptive. Sometimes I did have to rewind it a little bit back to rewatch some scenes in order to take in the dialogue, but I think it allows the viewer to think about what is being said. Cast-wise, Paul Scofield is fantastic as the humble Moore who takes his faith seriously and he stands up for what he believes rather than going with the majority. Welles, on the other hand, I didn't think he was very memorable here as he is in other films, but still he turned in a pretty good performance.
Why did you oppose me?
I thought Your Grace was wrong.
A matter of conscience. You're a constant regret to me, Thomas. If you could just see facts flat on without that horrible moral squint. Now, explain how you, as a Councillor of England, can obstruct these measures for the sake of your own private conscience.
Well, I think that when statesmen forsake their own private conscience for the sake of their public duties, they lead their country by a short route to chaos.
Leo McKern, who plays Cromwell, I thought also delivered a top-notch performance in this movie as well. The only performance I really did not care for was Robert Shaw's Henry. He's exuberant in the part, but he often shouts a bit, and I really found it to be great.
You see your way clear to me?
That you should put away Queen Catherine's sire. Oh, alas, as I think of it, I see so clearly that I cannot come with Your Grace, that my endeavor is not to think of it at all.
Then you haven't thought enough!
Now, as I mentioned, I think the movie still has elements that are relevant today. For example, there's a character played by Corin Redgrave who became a member of the Lutheran Church because he questioned the Catholic Church, comparing it to a shop. And there's also, I've also seen a lot of articles online about people leaving the Catholic Church for other churches for one reason or another. But most of all, I think Man of All Seasons is about defending your beliefs and your opinions and what is morally right. A Man for All Seasons, I think, holds up well today. On the technical side, it's still terrific to watch, but most of the time I think it's relatable to today's audience. So that's my review of Man of All Seasons. If you want to check it out, it's available on DVD. If you have seen it, go ahead and post your thoughts. And also, you can visit the main page to look at some movies that are in theaters as well as available on DVD or streaming at home. Thank you very much for watching.